It's the economy, stupid. Okay?
Sorry, Carville. Not in 2025. And no one seems to be more surprised than Harry over on CNN.
Quite surprising. Honestly, sometimes you look at the numbers and you just go, whoa.
Trump has accomplished something. He is such a disaster as a president that Americans are realizing we got way bigger fish to fry than the economy.
We're talking about new lows for Donald Trump. He's hit new lows for himself.
With those embarrassing approval numbers in mind, try to reconcile this bold claim from Bannon the bridge troll.
We need him for at least one more term, right? And he'll get that in 28. And the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started.
Finish what Trump started? Like setting the record for the lowest approval numbers ever?
The only way President Trump wins in 2028 is by the will of the American people.
Does he really think that the will of the people will go in their favor again? Trump's declining health, declining economy, declining popularity all seem to be working against them. The only thing that is increasing here, besides the number of shirts that Bannon's wearing, is Trump's fucking audacity.
Honestly, sometimes you look at the numbers and you just go, whoa, it kind of pops off the screen. This is going to be a contrarian take. What are we talking about? Well, you know, Matt was mentioning about the econ playing such an important role in last year's presidential election. The top problem facing the U.S. is economic per Gallup. Last year, look at this, 43% at this time, 43% of Americans said the top problem was economic. Come to this side of the screen. It's just considerably different. We're talking about 24%. We're talking about a drop of near 20 points. And more than that, we're talking about across all of the different political groups, right? Democrats, independents, Republicans. We see that the percentage who say the top problem is economic has been falling through the floor. And more than that, you know, we're talking about inflation. The percentage of Americans who say that the top problem is inflation has also been falling, which is, I think, very much surprising given all the news that we are hearing about the economy.
It really is surprising. How does this compare to like the historical look at how people feel about the economy?
Okay, so, you know, let's talk about, we'll go through history, right? Let's take a look. The top problem facing the United States is economic. In the average midterm election, it's 35%. It's 35%. Look at where we are now. Again, it's 24%. It is lower. Fewer Americans right now are saying the top problem is economic than historically have said that the top problem is economic. So it's not only that the top problem being economic is lower than we were at this time last year, it is lower than we have historically been despite all the news about how the economy is supposedly softening. So you just look at these numbers and you just go to yourself, wait a minute, there's something going on here with the American public whereby you're getting all this economic news, but yet the percentage of Americans who say the top problem is economic has actually been falling and is lower than it normally is.
Okay, so fewer Americans are putting the economy at the top of their priority list. So what is it?
It's the economy, stupid. Okay?
No, it's not, Carville. We just went over this. According to the Gallup poll that Harry mentioned in that CNN story, the vast majority of Americans are concerned about non-economic issues, with their concern of the government and poor leadership topping their concern about the economy.
Well, he's going to get a third term. So Trump 28. Trump is going to be president in 28.
A third term? Based on what, Steve? And I know I already brought up the ridiculous number of shirts that Steve Bannon is wearing, but I'd be remiss if I didn't also bring up the ridiculous number of pens attached to said shirts. Who needs that many pens just at the ready? You really have that much to write, Steve? I don't think so. Sorry, I got distracted by the pens. Back on track. Harry's dismay over the lack of importance that Americans are placing on the economy pales in comparison to his utter shock over Trump's tanking approval numbers.
What's he doing?
Yeah, my mama was a doctor, and I think she'd look at these numbers and say that Donald Trump's doing absolutely awful in the minds of the American people. What are we talking about? We're talking about new lows for Donald Trump. He's hit new lows for himself. Trump's economic net approval rating hits lows with these pollsters. CNBC, look at this. Down now, minus 13 points on the net approval rating on the economy. You come to this side of the screen, it's minus 19 points among Quinnipiac. And keep in mind, we're talking about hitting record lows for Donald Trump in either his first term, which of course ended back in 2021, or his second term, which is ongoing right now. The bottom line is Donald Trump is at the lowest point ever in either of his terms.
But compare it to presidents historically.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Donald Trump is beating himself in the way you don't want to beat yourself, record lows, but let's compare it to other presidents. Well, let's take a look here. Okay, worst economic net approval ratings at this point among presidents since 1977. In the presidency, right, this is a new Donald Trump presidency. Look at this. He's the worst for any presidency at this point. How about the second term? Come to this side of the screen. Of course, Trump's in his second term. He's the worst for any president at their second term at this point. So Donald Trump isn't just beating himself with record lows. This is the lowest for any president ever at this point in either a presidency or for a second term. Donald Trump setting the types of records you simply put do not want to set.
But we all know by now that when it comes to numbers, Trump just does his own math.
We do see polling that doesn't poll well in the economy. The recent Fox polling said 52% say the economy is worse under this administration. We've got unemployment at the highest rate in 4 years. Groceries made a big jump in the last term. So how is that? You're looking forward with these plans that you just talked about. When will people feel that, Mr.
Well,
Trump?
when the factories start opening. I mean, right now we're building them. And, you know, Fox polling, I have to tell you, I've told you before, it's the worst polling I've ever had. It's always, I mean, during the election, they had me winning by a little bit, not by a massive amount. And Fox polling, I've told Rupert Murdoch, go get yourself a new pollster because he stinks. And this is for years now.
He told Rupert Murdoch to get a new polling person. That's rich, but that's Trump's MO, isn't it? He doesn't like the numbers. He just fires the numbers nerds and gets some new ones. And then he grabs a Sharpie and makes his own charts.
But this chart is pretty amazing right here. All new numbers. Okay?
Still have no idea what that chart was supposed to represent. It's just a squiggly line going up. Oh, and look, I made my own chart too. It's my fucking patience from November 2016 until today. Plummeting numbers. Not good. Also not good is the rising rate of inflation in 2025. You know, the rate that Trump said he was going to bring down.
Day to day, we're paying more for a lot of the basics, Diane. That's what this report shows us. Inflation now up 3% year over year, well above the Fed's target of 2%. Where did we see a rise? Gas prices. Big problem here, up 4%, the highest contributor to inflation last month. Food, rent, airfare, furniture, all of those prices moved up last month.
And looking ahead, Trump's economy is just going to keep getting worse. Farmers have filed a record number of bankruptcies in 2025, and it's only October. Farmers are going bankrupt because of Trump, while Argentina dances because of Trump, because they just got $20 billion from the United States. And that clip of leaders in Argentina dancing, I think, is part of the reason why many Americans no longer say the economy is their most pressing concern. Because while the economy is bad, it's terrible under Trump, that's how much more terrible Trump is as a person and a president, that they are more concerned about the poor leadership in the United States than the economy. What a mess, but I am so relieved to be in this mess with all of you. Make sure you subscribe to Really American Media so you can keep up with all of the latest, like whatever diabolical plan Steve Bannon is going to roll out while wearing 19 shirts, maybe 20. If we're lucky. For Really American Media, I am Corinne Straight. Thanks so much for watching. I will see y'all next time.